In the current climate of gaming on console, Nintendo and Sony are dominating the scene. Then you got Xbox sitting over there with fucking Fusion Frenzy. Now, I like Fusion Frenzy, but no one is gonna buy an Xbox Series X to play Fusion Frenzy. The overall talk about consoles is for another day, but what I do want to touch on briefly is exclusivity, particularly on the PS3. Sony was on top of the world with this console, and here I was in 2012 sitting over there with my Xbox 360 and fucking Happy Wars. Uncharted 3, Metal Gear Solid 4, Demon's Souls, Ratchet & Clank, Little Big Planet, God of War 3, Fat Princess, what the fuck, and The Last of Us. Now, if you asked me which one of these games I'd like remastered for the PS5, I'd probably say Metal Gear 4 and not The Last of Us, because The Last of Us is already on PS5. In 2013, when The Last of Us released, I did not have a PlayStation. I barely had a computer. I was living it up under a bridge on 31st Street. But I was browsing the PlayStation store a few days ago and saw The Last of Us and said, yeah, why not? The Last of Us is a very different type of game. In most games, you're jumping around on missiles, fighting giant robots. In The Last of Us, you open 50 drawers searching for screws.
I hate this crap.
Upgrading guns is long and drawn out. A lot of this game is walking and listening to people talk. It's a very slow and methodical experience that rewards you for taking your time. Resources are incredibly scarce, so you are heavily encouraged to explore areas to find things like bullets, materials, permanent upgrades. But even then, you will eventually run out of items mid-fight, and that's when you need to slip back into the shadows and reconsider your approach. And this game is brutal, man. Choking out guys takes time with them clawing at your face. When you shotgun a guy, his entire ribcage gets destroyed. When you throw a bomb at a guy, he gets fucking torn in half. You can burn people to death. Enemies will beg for their lives as you slowly approach them to deliver the final blow. But where The Last of Us truly shines is its incredibly gripping and engaging storytelling. The opening of this game hits you like a truck, man. It invokes such strong emotion from characters we've only spent mere minutes with and sets the tone for the rest of the game. We cut 20 years later. Joel is still wearing the watch his daughter gave him, now broken, much like Joel himself. A man destroyed by the apocalypse, now killing left and right without remorse. And then he meets Ellie, and as much as he tries not to, he can't help but be reminded of his daughter. And Joel is still a brick wall, with good reason. The world of The Last of Us has one consistent theme, in that when you open yourself up to others, when you put your trust in humanity, your reward is death. While this is a zombie apocalypse, the zombies come second to the people. The hardest hurdles Joel and Ellie face on their journey are not the infected, but rather the other humans they come across, reaffirming the idea that in this world you can't trust anyone, which is why when Joel sees a guy in the street begging for help, he goes, that guy ain't even hurt. We continuously see Joel deny and compartmentalize his issues and clear PTSD that has caused him to turn into the brutal and terrifying man we see now. When Ellie or other characters try and pry at Joel, he shuts that shit down. He's like, we ain't talking about Tess, we ain't talking about Sarah, we ain't talking about none of that shit.
Ellie? You are treading on some mighty thin ice here.
When Tommy tries to give Joel a picture of his daughter, he just goes like,
I'm good.
You sure?
I said I'm good.
But as the game goes on, we do get hints of Joel finally opening up. The more time he spends with Ellie, the more he starts talking with her and initiating the conversation himself. He teaches her how to play football, he introduces her to his pet giraffe. He starts to form a real bond with her, so much so that he starts to go to any extreme necessary to protect her. And when Ellie finally offers him that same picture again, Joel finally caves.
Well, no matter how hard you try, I guess you can't escape your past.
After all we've been through.
Come on, you gotta get up.
Everything that I've done. It can't be for nothing.
You just come after her.
The Last of Us is storytelling in video games at its peak. It's not as exciting or intense as something like Uncharted 4, but it is a very unique and intriguing story-driven narrative, and I am very excited to play part 2 next. Wait a minute.